Hello everybody, welcome to the brush. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. The owl on the brush is here. For anybody new to this channel, this is an art and game development channel. I'm streaming today. Hey Mr. B, what's up? Hope you're doing well. I'm streaming today 3D modeling, so I stream game play on Sundays, and then 3D modeling on Tuesdays, and game development. So feel free to hang out, chat, or lurk. Okay, let's get this show on the road. So let me give you an introduction to what I'm going to be working on. So today, actually for the game development streams, I'm working on a game called Duel Trigger. Duel Trigger is a, let me bring up the preview here. Duel Trigger is a steampunk Wild West run-and-gun 2D platformer about the duality of good and evil and the clash of loyalties and family ties. In this game, you play as the most skilled and most wanted steampunk cowboy in all of the West Coast. I've currently put a total of 2 months into its development, and the game will have a total of 5 levels each ending with a gunslinging standoff. So today, I'm working on the Chinatown level. So you can see here, let's see. I'm currently creating the buildings for the Chinatown. If I turn on the textures here, you can see them with color. I also have a, these are going to be rendered to be pixelated. So I start with 3D. Then I have different filters that it goes through. And of course this is a steampunk game, so I'm going to integrate a lot of steampunk pieces into the buildings. Wait, there's no light here. Wait a minute. Let's see. Very nice. Bro definitely has a hefty computer. Yeah, actually, I got my new laptop here on Black Friday, and then I wasn't using it for a few months because I kind of like to keep my new items like all pristine. So I was continuing using my old laptop, and then recently I brought it out, and I'm working on all my projects now. So if I press the render button here, you can see this is how it's going to look in the final product. Well, this is not really the final product, but this is closer to it. Then I have the camera view here. I'll move it along to a different location so you can see this. Wait a minute. Render. I hope my sound's okay too. I don't know if the volume's right. Oh, this one's not lit properly. Where are the lights here? Okay, sounds good to me. Great. I haven't completely decided how the lighting is going to be, but so far I have the light follow the camera. Let's see, where is it? I have these panels here that light up the areas as it goes along, and I can turn on the textures here so you can see from this window. The models are also going to have a map on them so that the computer can calculate light as well on the sprites. So all of these are going to be flattened into 2D sprites, and then I have another texture on it to calculate lighting. And these are my reference photos that I use. For Chinatown, I think most of these are in San Francisco. I'm trying to integrate more like traditional Chinese architecture with that, like, I don't know if it's 1850s building, like the Wild West type structures. And then along with steampunk as well. So when you model in Blender, I modeled everything here from scratch. However, when I model it the first time, I can copy paste what I've made before. So if I want to make a building, I'll just duplicate this and move it along. Duplicate again, or I can join these together. Oh, I have to apply the mirror here. Apply. So I can duplicate, or I can also make an array to make multiple, and then stretch them out. Then I'll add like a balcony on top, a door in the background, some windows on the bricks here. And then when I'm done, then I have to grab the lighting too, otherwise it's going to look dark. Well, let's see. Oops. Yeah, so you kind of get the idea. Gotcha. You work fast too. It's wild. Yeah, I started learning 3D modeling in September 2022, and I've really put a lot of hours into it. So a lot of what makes it fast too is that I know a lot of shortcut keys. So when you're moving things around, if you do, okay, Shift F is to view. Then you also have Shift D to duplicate. If you want to move things around, you click on it, then you press G to move, X to move along this axis side to side, or you press GY to move forward and backward, GZ to move up and down. Then that, let's see, if you want to constrain to one plane, G, Shift Z, and then you can move it along the floor. I'm gonna head out. God bless you, brother. I hope to tune in again soon. Yeah, God bless you, and also thanks for stopping by. I hope you have a great stream. So now I'm going to try to make a few pieces from scratch. Let me put on my work sign. Oh, and I didn't have my chat box up. Let's see. Chat box, where? There we go. Oops. A lot of these are going to have signs on them as well. I have the file with all the shop signs. I haven't added them yet. So I'm going to try to pick something that I can model right now. I'll use this screen actually. This is actually pretty cool here. I think I'll make this maybe into a balcony. Then I can add some more Wild West windows behind it. I think I also made some of these under here as well. I could just copy and paste those. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. I'll just put it on no texture mode so it's easier on the computer. This is another piece that I made. This is cracked ice. It's kind of one of those traditional Chinese designs that is used sometimes for railings and windows. But I've separated the two pieces. I'll just take this out. I think I'll put this in panels. I wonder if I should do 2 or 3 inside. I'll duplicate this one, see if I can make it easier for myself. Let's see. Should probably put these in a collection so that they're easy. Untalented Despair. Heyo, hello, how are you? Hope you're having a good day. I don't know if you were here earlier, but I'll just explain what I'm doing at the moment. So right now I'm working on my indie game, Duel Trigger. So Duel Trigger is a Wild West steampunk run-and-gun 2D platformer where you play as the most wanted and most talented steampunk cowboy in all of the West Coast. It's actually I make this game in 3D, as you can see right here, and then I export it to be pixelized. So if I press the render button, this is how it looks in game. And this level is the Chinatown level. So I'm going to try to incorporate more traditional Chinese architecture with Wild West buildings and then also steampunk as well. But right now, I guess you don't see a whole lot of the Chinese side. You see the lanterns and lamps, and I have some roofs that I made as well. So right now I'm using this reference photo to help me build a divider for or railing for a balcony. I'm still trying to get back in the groove because I was working on this quite a bit for a certain period of time, and then I had to move on to other projects. So right now I'm trying to work on something that's a little bit more manageable so that I can work faster. So I have the lighting that goes with the camera. Oops. Oops. I'm working on this right now. I don't know, maybe I need to change the shader so that it this is kind of like has a little bit of a flat look. If I want to, when I'm making these, I pull from something I've already done, and then I kind of, it makes it faster if you copy paste and then you edit after that. So I could duplicate this and then change it a little bit. But if I want a particular shape, I have to make it like this. Actually, that's a plane. I need a cube. Actually, I can still make this smaller. Oop. And then extrude. The detail's a little small, so I don't know if it's going to come across on the final render. That's okay. And then you can kind of see a bit of the 3D part of it right here. It goes into the square. I can copy the, let's see, if I select this, I can link the materials. Duplicate, rotate, duplicate, rotate, 90 degrees up. Looks like there's a design inside of the square. I wonder how I'll make that one. It has a cylinder in the middle, I think, kinda. I should have another color somewhere. If I turn this into the wood color here, maybe it'll look better. Oop. Control L, link material. Oh, wait a minute. That's the opposite way. Let me try again. Oh. I'll play a little bit of music actually, so that it's not all silent right now. Let me see here. I think I will create grooves or cuts here. Then bring them in like this. I think it's really small, the piece I'm working on, so you're not really going to see a whole lot of detail anyway. It's kind of uneven. Maybe I could probably bevel these. Oh, wrong one. Bevel. Actually, bevel again. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, actually I need to change the material, otherwise these two look like they blend in with each other. I will. Try this one. Well, that's the same as the bars. Wait a minute. How about this? Looks kind of similar still, but it's going to be far away. I should probably find another texture. And by the way, all these textures I have are made using the shader editor here on the bottom. So I have a color ramp to change the color depending on where the light's coming from. The light itself does not affect the color on the surface. The colors are already predetermined via the color ramp. So this is what gives it a cell shaded look. And then I also have a little bit of ambient occlusion. This one effectively makes a noise texture that centers, or it ends up on the edges of the model to give it a dynamic look. This one's so skinny, it's like just everywhere. I feel like I want to make this a little more round, though. I select the edges here. Then bevel again. Actually, I have a different idea. Maybe I can just make circles or cylinders. If anybody has questions about the modeling process too, just feel free to ask me. So I should probably mirror this so that it's has 4 circles that are symmetrical. I'm going to do the mirror tool modifier. However, I need to have the origin point in this center spot. So origin to 3D cursor. Then I'll do a mirror modifier. Mirror. I think there's another way to do 2 on these sides as well. Mirror object. Well, I'll just flip it, duplicate, rotate 90 degrees, and copy the purple shader. Oh, this one's purple, but the edges are orange. If I shrink this one, A, S, Z, G, Z, duplicate, do the same here, S, X, GX, duplicate, X, SX for size, GX to move it to the right position, render. It's acceptable for now. Hey, Zorax345. Hey, long time no see. How are you? Currently, I'm working on doing 3D modeling for my indie game Duel Trigger. It's a steampunk run and gun Wild West 2D platformer. This area is the Chinatown level. The game's gonna have 3 levels total, and then each level is gonna end with a gunslinging battle. So most of this is really in progress. You know, I don't have anything really finished at the moment. I have all these steampunk accessories to place on the buildings. Then I have these photos for reference. For this level, I'm using traditional Chinese architecture alongside more Wild West structures. You can see here, this is what I'm going to be modeling also. Doing well. Sounds like a mouthful to explain the themes. Lol. Yeah. It's I mean, I wanted it to be steampunk, and then I was trying to figure out like what type of game it was going to be, so it kind of starts piling up. But I also have a lot of other interests too, so that's why I fit more like cultural things inside as well. Chinese architecture and all that, and I'm gonna have signs inside the game. Like this is for a hospital, and then I'm gonna have like stores and other like grocery stores and pharmacies and those kind of things. Right now I'm working on some railing here. I haven't worked on this project in a while, so I'm trying to do something simple. That way I can work on it quickly still. So this is what I have so far. If I render this one, it kind of looks rudimentary, you know, close up, but you know, if it's far away, hopefully you won't really think about it. I'm gonna have to fix the colors later. Then I'll make this trellis just basically just a bunch of squares, you know. If I do Control P to separate the object, then I will add an array. Oh wait, first of all, I'll duplicate this, rotate up, origin to geometry, rotate. Wait a minute. This might not look that great right now. Let's see. Well, that's okay. Looks like it's 5 pixels across, so we can make it skinnier. Oh, where is it? Zorax345 says, looks nice so far. I like the styling you've achieved with the within the render. Adds a lot of texture without much effort. Yeah, so this is supposed to be like it's supposed to have a pixelated look, but I did want it to have kind of mimic, you know, the actual like hand done pixel sprites. And so I figured, you know, one of the things I can do is add a texture along the edge of the objects. This one you can't really see it too much because when it's on really small objects, it doesn't really show that much. but I use these nodes here in the shader editor. I have a color ramp for the cell shaded look, and then I have something for the noise. This is ambient occlusion, but it's like it's kind of like a foggy texture in the center of the surface. That I have it inverted to be on the edge. So if you look at, let me see here. I'm missing some lighting. GCG. You can see here that the noise follows the edge of the shape. So it gives an effect like there's an outline somebody's drawn around it. And then, of course, in real life, those things come with wear and tear. So I will copy one of these balconies. Along with some pillars. And bricks. Oh, I don't think I finished this one. I'll just use it just as a placeholder. Obviously here I'm going to have to adjust the background so that there's good contrast with the character in front. I'm just going to merge all these together in another piece. Oh. That way I can drag everything around quickly without having to select everything again. I'll just apply, I think Shift A, okay. That applies the modifier. Control A. Then I do Control J to join. Maybe I can select everything at one time. Yeah. That way I can see what it looks like as a larger piece. If I duplicate again, duplicate, looking good so far. Maybe I can drag this down. I'm going to check YouTube. I don't know if I've successfully integrated YouTube and the Twitch chat together. So I don't know if somebody's commenting right now. Let me see. I don't think there are any comments right now. Let's get back to working. So, are you joining the pieces to make it easier to manipulate as a whole? Yes. I do that so that I don't have to keep... I want to manipulate everything individually, but then when I'm done, I don't want to have to like reselect everything. So that's why I'll keep the original. Then I'll join everything together on a new one, and then I'll move those around. And then these I can just delete later on. So I will apply the modifier. And then when they're all applied, then I'll join them together. Control J. Then I can move it to the spot I want to just see how it looks. Right now everything's kind of lost in the background. I don't know if it's too distracting to have the transparency back here, because transparency has all these squares, but it makes it harder to see the model. Let me turn that off. Where transparency, okay. So you at least have the original unjoined version to make changes to adjust in case. Yeah. So I use that as my kind of like when I duplicate things, I use that as my save file, just temporarily in the program. So because I'll make something and then I don't want to mess it up, so then I'll make a copy. And then when I'm moving these around, I join them together so that it's easier to select and then everything goes faster. I've even started to do that with my drawings I do on Krita. I'll make a new layer and then I'll continue my painting on the new layer that I've duplicated. But there's still another one that I have underneath that's invisible. Let me see if you can see this shape if I have it on top. Control-Alt-X to put origin on the bottom, then I will rotate it. Oh, that one's well, it's a little funky looking maybe. You can't really tell how it's different from the other one. So let me just try putting one of my roofs. It looks nice already. Okay. Then I'll put the sign down here. Oop. Who knows what this will be? Maybe it's a pharmacy or an inn. On the bottom, I will copy some pillars that I made earlier. I don't think I used these yet, did I? So I'll duplicate. create an array. And then always remember to save, Control S. Sometimes you don't know if your computer is going to crash and then you lose your progress. Yeah, so right now the textures kind of merge into each other a little bit, so it's hard to make out the shapes a little bit. Hopefully we can fix that later. Then what else are we putting here? I have some windows that I made. Actually, it'd be nice with the lanterns. Oh, with the lanterns, I had an original lantern shape, and then I use a lattice to change them to be longer, like a little fat or skinny. So we will copy the classic lantern shape. I don't know how those are going to hang on there. I'll just leave it like that for now. Yeah, and then I'll put words on here. There's going to be another door. So in the game, you're going to be able to jump onto the balcony from the side. So if there's like a enemy you have to get on the behind in order to attack him, or maybe you just want to run past, you can jump up on the balcony, or maybe there's going to be something up there you don't want to attack you, so then you go on the bottom. Or maybe this is going to be blocked with like boxes or something. Can try these windows. I wonder what else I can add. Oh, with some banners. I'll have some banners on the side of the building. I'll have to change this so it has physics, I suppose. If I do an array, I can have it like this. 2, 3. Maybe just 2. I will stretch this here, and then then if I put the origin to if I put the origin in the middle, then I can mirror the banners with a mirror modifier. If I change the origin to the 3D cursor, mirror, maybe that looks a little messy. I'll have to fix it later. And like, you see how the windows are not the same. This one's lighter and this one's darker. I'll have to see if I'm gonna make all the sprites that are the same have the same light on them. Actually, since the window, since the roof is longer than the building itself, I could have a pathway on the side and just extend the balcony. To keep this centered, I'll have to move this a little bit like that. And then these will probably have to be wider. Oh, let me delete this one. Maybe I'll just make this one wider. I don't know. Oh. I'll try to fix this part. Divine Ruins hopped into the... I muted my microphone. Divine Ruins hopped into the brush. Hey, Divine Ruins, how are you? Thanks for following. Lol, what's up, yo? Hey, so I'm working on my... Yeah, I did not know you streamed. Yeah, I just started actually, so this is like my second week. I'm doing game development, and I also do gameplay on Sundays as well. So this is an indie game that I'm making. Let me see if I can give you a short introduction. So Duel Trigger is the name of the game that I'm making. It's a steampunk Wild West run-and-gun 2D platformer about the duality of good and evil and the clash of loyalties and family ties. So in this game you play as the most skilled and most wanted steampunk cowboy in all of the West Coast. Currently I'm making 5 levels, and I've spent about a total of 2 months working on this. I stopped for a little while and then I'm trying to get back in the groove. Today I'm working on the Chinatown level. So this is a steampunk game, so I'm merging traditional Chinese style architecture, just a little bit of it, and then with Wild West buildings. So here I have the railing is like a traditional cracked ice design for fences and windows as well. Some roofing. And then for the Old West look, I have the pillars. And then over here you can see these are some steampunk, like random decorations that I made. I dig indie games. Yeah, I feel a lot of indie games, there's like not really that big, like all the big games might have investors behind them, so it's like some of the creativity gets a little bit pushed under, since they have to like appease their investors and not take risks. But a lot of indie games, they can do a lot of different creative things. What engine are you developing in? Is this Unity? So right now I'm working with Blender, and I will be exporting this to Unreal Engine. However, this is a 2D game, so all of these are going to be flattened into sprites. So I will render all the pieces, and then I will import them back into the 3D program, and then I will arrange them together, kind of layered like paper cutouts. Yeah, 100%. More passion and less Russian indies. Gotcha, okay, yeah. I was working on my comic book a little while ago. That took up some of my time, and then I was trying to sell a lot of trinkets that I made in person as well, so I'm learning all kinds of things. These are not lit well. If I put up a spotlight here. I like these specifically with the lights next to the camera so that I don't have any interference. Then after I make the sprites, I have this map here that I'm going to use. This basically will take the 2D image, I'll overlay this on top, and then it'll tell the computer where the lights are, like where things can shine on the sprite. That way it gives the illusion like it's 3D again. The reason why I'm doing this workflow is because I'm still learning the gaming engines and blueprints, so I figured I'd make it easy on myself by making it 2D instead of starting with 3D, as in importing it into the engine and then like actually having it inside a game. So this is something I just made today. I started at 6 o'clock. I have a reference photo that I made the railing from. But I'm just like doing it really quickly, so it's not exactly the way it looks in the picture. I'm just getting the general idea. Once I make an item or an object, it's a lot easier than to copy and paste, and then I'll duplicate them, and then the workflow gets faster and faster. The railings look good, thanks. Only problem is when I render it, I notice that some of them kind of blend into each other. I'm gonna have to change the colors a little bit so that there's more contrast. That way the character, when he goes up on the balcony and behind the railing, you can see him better. And you don't want to copy it, but rather put your own spin anyway, right? Yeah. So this is like all fiction. So I'm actually gonna make like the Chinatown. Well, it's probably gonna be like more fancy looking than the original Chinatown would be in real life anyway. But it's, you know, steampunk, so you can take a lot of artistic license with that. Then this is going to be a sign up on top. I'll have different names of places. So for instance, this one's already a hospital. And then I'll have a pharmacy, grocery store, fancy lights. Oh, I should make it more steampunk now, so let me see if I can grab something from here. There should be a door here. I don't know if that looks okay on this side. Control Alt X to put the origin on the bottom. Then you do Shift right click for the cursor. Then you do Shift S to have selection cursor. Then GZ. Yeah, I don't know. I have to change that later. Yeah, this is cool stuff. Well, yeah, I'm glad you think so. I'm trying to like keep the pace to go really fast, but at the same time have like the theme fit and still look acceptable. I don't have the patience for this type of thing, but I admire the people that do. Thanks. Yeah, it took a while for me to figure out how to do all this. And then I also have to learn all the shortcut keys, so I know how to move everything around. I started learning Blender in September 2022, but I spent a lot of hours into learning. The textures I have are actually made with nodes, so that saves me a lot of time when I make more objects. I don't have to change the texture manually. So you can see I have the color ramp to have a cell shaded look. You can see if I change the bar here, it moves a little, it alters a little bit up there. That's the lighting affects that. The light doesn't actually affect it as far as the color, because that's already predetermined right here, but it affects the shape. And then I have a ambient occlusion. This is reversed so that it makes this change of color on the edge of an object. Oop. maybe I can put something on the side of the balcony here. Oh, the windows are gone, or the glass is gone. It's missing another piece too. That's why I grouped the pieces together, that way I don't miss any later on. But we'll just do this for reference. Yeah, and then I'll have to change the lighting to make it get pushed further in the background. That way it's not distracting when you're passing by. Like if it's too bright, it's going to overlap with your character and then everything's hard to see. Here's some other reference photos that I have that I'm going to base other structures on. Like this one here, I created this with it. Now I'm going to copy some of these to move over. think I have some boxes also. I don't know if I saved them in this file or not. I could use these. Maybe. If I duplicate, and then... Oop. Looks okay. Maybe I can add a door. If I add this from there's a way to cut this and splice it so it can have like a pillar and lintel, or is that how you say it? Lintel? Structure. Wait a minute. Oh, well, this is not even attached anyway. Link. Rotate. Oop. I think there's a tool, the shear tool. I don't know if I know how to use this one. Shear. Oh. Yeah, that's okay. Then extrude. That doesn't really look the way I want it. Extrude. wait. That's okay for now. I'll just edit it again later. Yeah, I tend to think a little when I'm talking. It's harder for me to concentrate. So my best work, I think, is when I'm just by myself. Not to interrupt your workflow, but I was thinking about how to keep your copied objects linked to avoid potential issues when you need to make a change that applies to all of them. These are fairly simple assets, so it might not be necessary, but have you heard of instancing in Blender? Yeah, I've heard of it. It's just that I'm so used to duplicating that I didn't really see much of a problem. I think if I make more and more, and the memory, if I need to save on memory, I'm gonna start doing that. But for now, I just duplicate it and then delete it when I don't want it. Because also, one of the things is like I'll copy something and then I'll make changes to it to also have like a different version of it. And so if I have an instance, like I might change something and then not realize I changed the other part, the other one that was from. So like here I'll copy these lanterns. And then I'll like modify them a little bit so that they are like wider like that. So if I'm like absent-minded, I might just do that, and then the other ones will change, and then like I could try doing instancing. It's just that I don't want to get confused. Okay, so I think oh, hey Takeshi, how are you? I remember stressing so much about instancing in the past. I would instance as much as I possibly could for big scenes. Because of the like space on your computer, or because the files can get pretty large, right? Depending on what you're doing, I guess. Yeah, so I'm kind of... This is all like... I was just trying to make this really quickly, so I don't know if it looks jumbled up. Yes, because my computer was weak sauce, and I wanted to do complicated renders. Yeah. It's funny because I could have learned Blender really early on if I had a good computer. But my computer that I had originally wasn't, like, it was pretty terrible. So a lot of programs I would open up and then it would be jittering and freezing, and I'm just like, my brain got used to it, like, oh, this is just how it works. But then if you have a really good computer, and then you can use Blender to do modifiers and all these other calculations, you can do a lot of different things, which you can't do with a slow computer. Oop. Where? Okay. So I wonder what I should make now. I could do something more unique looking. So Zorax 345 says, yeah, I was looking into it, but it would be complicated to explain, let alone implement in one go. Might be better as a graphic resource for later. You're right that it's not ideal if you're making small changes between copies, though. Yeah. Takeshi D says, also the scene is looking great. I can't wait to see what it looks like when it's fully rendered and put into the game. Yeah, hopefully, I think it will look better, but you know, you never know. I'm pretty sure there's something I can do. The all of this, I was hoping I was gonna be able to have another layer on top of it for the lighting, so it's gonna have dynamic lighting. This one is basically, I don't know if you've seen this before. I forget what this is called for some reason. Is it? Yeah, I forget. But the colors tell you which direction the light's coming from, like the angle. Like if it's the top section, or like all of it on this side is one color. On this side, it's another color. It is indeed very nice. Looking very nice. Thanks. And then I need to add some more of this kind of stuff to it also. So the idea I had was you're going through the Chinatown to get to a particular building, and then along the way there are a lot of like gangsters who are like trying to fight you as you pass by, and then some steampunk robots also, and then it might be on Chinese New Year, so there'll be a bunch of fireworks as well. That's a normal map, yeah, normal map. That I don't know why I didn't remember that. Normal vector that you're thinking of on that purple-pink model you were showing, yeah. So for that one, I think I was so when you're using Blender, there's an option up here to get a normal map. I think somewhere up here. Where is it? I don't remember. Well, anyway, there's like, what do they call it? Matte something? Matte caps, or I don't know. So basically you'll have, maybe it's in this section. Oh yeah, okay. So here you can, there's like a drop-down list for different. Oop. Yeah, I'm not here very often, but there should be a drop-down list for other textures on here, and then you can have one that has a UV map. But the problem is that when you render it, it doesn't show up. So I'm like, okay. I had to figure out how to put it on the object. So I wouldn't know how to do this right now, because I was like fiddling with it, and I don't really even remember all the order of everything that I did. But you have to put a texture on, like a physical, like PNG texture, and then have a node that makes it, I think, orient a certain way. So let's see, what am I going to make now? Oh, I do have a box. matte cap, and the drop down will show when clicking on the actual sphere preview. Oh, let me see. Oops. Okay. And then here. Oh, yeah. So this is the one I was thinking of. Oh, yeah, it does everything. But then I think when you render it, it doesn't show out. So somebody else had like what they did was, oh, well, just have it in the preview like this. And then you can just capture this like print screen or something like that. But the thing is that since I'm doing the pixel style, that's not really going to work. So I had to figure out a way to get it to happen through the render. Let me see. I downloaded the Unreal sample file, and now it's my computer's almost full. Where? So here are the tests that I did for the normal maps. So this one is actually a program that you can download to make your sprites have light. But you can see it only has it on the rim. So it's not like they still look kind of flat. Then here I'm trying to get it to work on there without the pixel shader. And then here it's getting to look more like what I want. Yeah, and then I'll do that same thing with the characters. I also have some items. Let's see, icons here. So here I have the box, and then this is the normal map for it. Well, that's cool. Yeah. I just get a whole bunch of different, like, I was trying to get a bunch of different like metal and like random pieces, and then try to figure out how to put them together. And here's some weapons I was working on. This is just for the icon. The HUD's not really like completely finished yet, but it's like it could work anyway. Like, I don't know if I want that particular style. Those are really nice. They're so professional looking. Thanks. Well, that's good to hear, because I guess it's like lets me know if it's closer to being finished. So this is an early health bar that I made, but it didn't look quite right. So then this one is made in Affinity Designer. Then I did it in 3D instead. Mostly the streams I'm going to be doing I think are going to be in Blender, because I know Blender a lot more than I do Unreal Engine, and you'll probably see me fumbling a lot more. So it's going to like take up a lot of time just trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do. So let's change this back. What's this? And then I had the signs we're supposed to have. Where is it? Not sure what folder I put it in. I have like the Chinese already for the signs, but it's on like a graphic design document. Oh wow, the progress is really cool. I think the 3D is so much better as well. Yeah, the thing is that it's just I didn't want to have to deal with like all the importation, exporting things into Unreal Engine. So I decided to just do it 2D instead, because this is my first like solo project. It was actually it's my first project. I'm actually starting to work with somebody now on a different game. So by the time that comes out, then it's like, well, this is not really going to be my first game. It's going to be my first solo game, since it takes so long for me to make. Let's see if I can make something else. Like, some of this is going to take a little bit more brain power for me, so I'm probably, if I make it, I'll probably do it off stream. I have to take a look at my notes too. Maybe we can make like a pagoda or something. So I don't know how the normal map is done through shader nodes, but there is an option to do a viewport render with the matte cap. If you're looking through the camera, it will render to the set size of your camera too. Oh, yeah, it was a while ago, so I don't remember like all the specifications, like all the settings, but do you know how to do that, or if you... It's under the View tab to render your viewport. Here? right next to where it shows your mode, like object mode. Okay. Which selection is it? Viewport render. Oh. Wait, let me try that. Okay. How do you do like the pixelated look though? Yeah, so like if only I could make it have the same resolution, I guess. So like the way I would do it now is I will link the these materials to the other object. I'll set this back. So like these like that. Just a sad raccoon. Hey! Hey Flofi, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Right now I'm working on the Chinatown level for my game. I made this one today, but I'm kind of running out of inspiration. I'm doing pretty good, thank you. Right now I'm looking at how to to see if I can find a different way to make a normal map. So it's something that if you have a 2D image, you can make it look like it reacts dynamically to light if you add a normal map on top. With a pixelated look, you might be able to overlay a black and white version of your typical render on the normal render. Of course, might be better with nodes since you can combine it with your AO there. Yeah, like when you start getting into that, I'm like, oh, I don't understand. Like all the steps, like I have to like think about it for a long time. Fluffy, fluffy, fluffy. Glad to hear it. Takeshi, Takeshi. That's hard to say. What should I make now? It's also getting kind of late though. Maybe I'll show you some of the other stuff I've been working on. Let me pull this up here. Yeah, it can be a bit technical, so not something to have to figure out on camera. Yeah. So this one is the last level. It's the ranch. It's gonna be more like more of a like antebellum South kind of look. So I have like some fancy balconies here. Let's see. The lighting's kind of bad right now. I don't know why it's all like all jaggy looking, like triangles on there. PureRef is such a good program. Yeah, I had it on my old computer, and then I purchased another one for this one just recently. It's really convenient. Like other programs, when you start loading images up on it, they might start to slow down, and things don't like copy paste on it very quickly. I know nothing. Ah, oh, that's okay, Floofy. You're fine. And then I have the train. So right now I have a notification for when somebody follows me. I have like a little owl that pops down from the top. But then I'm thinking if I have subscribers, I'm probably gonna do something like if you get subscribed, you get like a free owl or something. So I was trying to figure out if there's a way to like make a randomized owl. Maybe I'll do an animation, and then I will like swap pieces out. So if somebody subscribes, I can just change the shape of it and then plug it into Blender and have it animate, and then I can give people like the same animation but like with an owl that looks different. So here you have, I'm gonna have the train cars with 2 levels, and this is gonna be like a what do they call it? Transatlantic? No, I don't know what the word is. There's the I forget the name of the railroad. Anyway, So it's gonna go across, the states maybe, and then it'll be moving while you're on it. Maybe pieces like the top one will, as you go along, you only have one car on the bottom or one car on the top, and then if I can pull it off, hopefully I can have it so that your character has to go like out underneath the train and then back up in, like if you can fly with a certain contraption. So maybe some of the train cars will be, you can't walk on them, so you have to like fly over to the other side, and then if you get on the top, then there'll be other enemies that can fly up on top, and then they'll go through a tunnel, so you have to be inside at one point. Transcontinental Railroad, yes. Thank you. This is actually what I started off with. And then I modeled it into these. See, these do look pretty cool, like, in 3D. So it's kind of a shame, I guess. And here are my reference photos. Nothing like making more detail than what ends up getting shown. Yeah, that's a problem. I mean, it's okay because I'm actually practicing with this too, so it's not like a total loss. But I do have to practice cutting down the detail. I have a lot of recording of the process, but I haven't uploaded it yet. But actually, I don't know if I saved it here. I think I put it on an external drive. Yeah, I don't have it right here. Anyway, kind of getting late, so okay, folks, looks like it's time to wrap up. Let's not. Wait a minute. I got my lines confused. Okay. Anyway, thanks everybody for showing up. Let me close this tab here. But if anybody has any questions, do you have any questions? Otherwise, I'll just close here. Oh, where'd my sign go? I had a work sign. Good night, Owl. Have a great rest of your night and nice stream. Okay. Thanks, Takeshi, and thanks everybody else who showed up. If anybody's new here, you can also follow the links down below to my Discord, my website as well. I have merch on there also. And I will be streaming again on Sunday. Sunday will be my gaming stream, I'll be playing Noita, and that will be at 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Zorax345 says, "It was nice seeing you work, dude. Have a good night." Yeah, you too. Have a great night. Thanks, Fluffy. Okay, everybody. Bye. Thank you.